Hello and welcome to Real Talk. One more episode, Marco.
Absolutely. Episode 3. I'm so excited to be back.
Yeah, I'm Gleidson Martins. Thank you so much for watching.
And I'm Marco Cerritos. Thanks again for joining us. And today we're going to kick things off with something different. Our early review of Top Gun Maverick, which is hitting theaters on May 27th. And for those expecting this, it's been a long time coming. A movie that's over 20 years in the making. Fans of the original are going to love this new one. And those who are not as hot on the original will still find lots to enjoy in Top Gun Maverick. In fact, the film is so strong that its shortcomings are when it calls back some of the best pieces of the first one, the infamous bar scene, volleyball scene. They're fine in Top Gun Maverick, but the film is strong enough to stand on its own. It doesn't necessarily need these added bits of nostalgia, but it doesn't exactly impede the film as a whole either. With a lot of glitz, glamour, and amazing aerial set pieces. I was lucky enough to see this movie on an IMAX screen, and those aerial scenes are amazing to witness. If you're able to see it on the biggest screen possible, you're in for an extreme treat.
You are not my first choice. You are here at the request of Admiral Kazansky, aka Iceman. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy. What that is, I can't imagine.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
And we're off.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen. Not even him.
You think
I need to be your second, get your friend to go to the movie with you before the movie gets released, because I don't get to
we
watch
both
it.
talk about it, I know.
Yeah.
But you have something amazing to talk about this week, too.
I do. Downton Abbey, which I'm a huge fan, comes up on May 20th.
Yes.
Downton Abbey New Era. But before, here's what I do. Whenever there's there's TV shows like 1, 2, 3, 6 seasons like Downton Abbey,
Right.
and then there's a movie. What I do is I rewatch the whole thing first, and then to catch up my thoughts and everything about the movie.
Yeah.
So what I did, I watched the whole 6 seasons. And then I watched the first movie,
Yeah.
and I've done that like 3-4 times. I'm a
wow.
huge fan. And so then I'm very excited about the new movie, which comes up on theaters on May 20th. But the good thing is, on YouTube, you can catch a documentary on the Downton Abbey Castle, which is the Highclere Castle. That's the name of the castle. So you can hear a little bit of the history of the castle, how they still can survive, because to maintain those castles, it's a lot of money. They used to have, let's say, I think it was 60 employees. Now they only have 20. Just to give an idea, the size of the land of the castle, it's 5 times the size of Central Park in New York.
Wow.
How to keep that?
That upkeep is not cheap, so
No.
that sounds amazing. But you said it's on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. The documentary about the Highclere Castle,
Yes.
which is the castle on Downton Abbey. It's free on YouTube. It's about 53 minutes. It's worth it watching it.
Especially
It's
if you're a
amazing.
fan of Downton Abbey.
I'm a
sure.
super fan. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that new movie. It comes out on the 20th.
Yes,
So
yes.
That's something that's on both of our radars.
Absolutely. So, and also last night, I know you watched prior, way before, Doctor Strange.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Doctor Strange and the
Yeah.
Multiverse of
And the
Madness.
yes. I thought it was a little bit all over the place, though. I felt like it was an X-Men, but then was an Avengers. I even thought there was one scene, not a spoiler, but there is one scene, it took me back to The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly. A lot of people have seen Doctor Strange 2 by now, so if you've seen it, you know exactly the scene that you're referring to. That film is a very interesting mess. It's got a lot thrown into it. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. But overall, I'm more mixed positive on the film. The parts that work are mostly because of the film's director, Sam Raimi.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He did the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, and he's done the Evil Dead series. So that supernatural horror bent to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness works because of him. And everything that seems to not work is... The problems with a lot of Marvel movies seem to be that they're trying to set up future films.
Yes.
Future franchises. And very few of these movies stand on their own. So the problems with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness stem from that. Stem from trying to pay off past storylines from 10 movies ago, or trying to set up new storylines that will pay off 10 movies from now.
Yeah.
But again, that's just my opinion. A lot of you have most likely seen Doctor Strange by now, so...
Yeah, but I agree with you, and I don't know if our viewers agree, but please write a comment below.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, they make the references for old movies.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen those movies, you get lost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And it's not even just the movies anymore. Like now they're just expecting you to watch the TV shows that come, you know, all these, you know, Disney Plus Marvel TV shows, which I've seen, but even as someone who does this for a living, you know, watches the movies, watches the TV shows, it's a lot to take in. So I can only imagine someone just trying to watch a movie on a Saturday night and escape, feeling completely lost at everything that's going on in this movie.
If you have Prime, like a lot of people do,
Yes.
so there's this cute comedy Brazilian movie on Prime, which was on my list to talk about, but then we have to cut it off because of the time of our show. But now I'm bringing that back, called Something About Mario.
Chega a hora de revelá-lo.
Eu saí daqui pra estudar administração de empresa lá no Rio.
Mas eu virei escritor e...
Como assim, escritor, mano? Eu sou gay.
Só que algumas famílias
Desculpa interromper.
têm um segredinho a mais.
Eu sou gay.
Seu irmão abriu caminho, agora a família tá com experiência.
Se um filho gay deixou meu pai no hospital com 2, ele morre, né?
Tu já sabia disso, né?
Ah, se eu soubesse.
Mário, tu vai ter que assumir a cervejaria.
Eu?
It's a Brazilian movie. It's this guy. He's gay, but he's not out to his parents, and then he moves away from the parents' house, a different town, and it takes place in Rio de Janeiro state, and then he goes to the parents' town for dinner, and he decided he's gonna come out. But there's a huge twist and on that scene because his oldest brother reveals something, steals the scene from Mario on that dinner, and then the whole thing is set up. And it's funny, it's fun, there's a little bit of a drama, and you laugh a lot. There's one character played by a drag queen called Nani People in Brazil. She's a well-known actress in Brazil. She has done other movies, soap operas. She's really, really good. And she brings that ton of comedy to the movie. It's really good. It's like a feel-good movie to watch.
Great.
It's amazing. And it's on Prime. So Something About Mario has Nani People on the cast, Daniel Rocha, who plays Mario, Romulo Arantes, and Felipe Abib. It's amazing. It's a really feel-good movie.
Oh, great. I'll check it out on Prime. I have Prime, so I have no excuse. I will check it out on Prime. You know, physical media still exists. It's still amazing. And for those of you keeping track and looking for a good recommendation this week, I'd like to point you toward Turning Red. It's the new film from Pixar. We filmed this in the Bay Area, so from our friends across the way at Pixar. Their latest came out in theaters and streaming in March, but their newly released and beautiful looking 4K and Blu-ray disc is available now. Turning Red is the coming-of-age story of a young Canadian girl who realizes that as she's getting older, she's going through some changes, and those changes can be very unique to a young girl. It's very strong, witty, and I think it's one of the year's best films. So if you still rent physical media, if you still are into physical media, the film isn't going anywhere. It's still on Disney Plus. But if you still collect discs or if you rent discs, that 4K and Blu-ray transfer looks amazing. And the disc also has some amazing special features. So that's Turning Red on 4K disc and Blu-ray.
You have another pick for streaming.
Yes, this week's streaming pick is Winning Time, the rise of the Los Angeles Lakers. It's on HBO and HBO Max. If you have either one, it'll work either way. But Winning Time is the story of the LA Lakers in the 1980s. back when they were essentially, not even just the Lakers, but the NBA was essentially just a throwaway joke. No one cared about the NBA, no one watched or talked about the NBA, and this is a story of Dr. Jerry Buss essentially bringing the Lakers from the dead and creating a dynasty, not just for himself, but for the NBA as a whole. It just wrapped its first season on Sunday, and it's already renewed for a second season, but the pinnacle of the series is John C. Reilly's performance as Dr. Jerry Buss. He is amazing in the lead and proves, I mean, people who have followed his career know that he's an amazing dramatic actor before he stepped into comedies like Step Brothers and Talladega Nights. But this is an amazing reminder to everyone else that, yes, he can do comedy, but he's also a great dramatic actor. So that's Winning Time on HBO and HBO Max.
Speaking of movie, there's a film festival coming up in June, which is the Frameline 46 Film Festival, it's a big film festival, not only in San Francisco, but in the Bay Area, and bring great movies to the Bay, to the big theater. And it runs from June 16 to the 26th. This week, they just released a sneak peek with 5 movies. I love film festivals. I don't know about you. I didn't see you, though, on a SF Film Festival.
No, you know, I covered a lot of it remotely. So I received a lot of screening links prior to the festival, and I put up some of my coverage on themovielens.com. But I was able to go to a few events, primarily opening night, and the Jenny Slate tribute at the Castro. She was given an award while she presented her new film, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And it's a very cute and family-friendly story. But she was in town for that. She's a great presence, just a great actress in general. So I was very happy to see the film and see her receive her award.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I love the film festivals, I really do. I'm looking forward for the Frameline,
yes,
the CineQuest, which is going to have the second part of it in August in San Jose. And then there's the Napa Film Festival too, and then Sundance.
Sundance in January, absolutely.
Yeah, looking forward to those film festivals.
Well, they just announced their dates, so if you have nowhere to be January 19th through the 29th of next year, go to the Sundance Film Festival. It's one of my favorites, and it's an amazing time in the snow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just threw that in there.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. Well, I guess
we can always cut it out if it's
No, it's right there. Well, thank you so much for watching us, right? Like,
absolutely.
It's another good episode.
Episode 3 in the books. You know, thank you so much for joining us. We always love putting these episodes together for you, and we really appreciate you giving us your few minutes. We will be back for episode 4 soon, and we will talk to you then.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave us a comment, like our video, share, tell your friends. And if you have a film festival running, if you're running a film festival, let us know. We can have you in our studio, or maybe you can cover the film festival as well. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.